So the big question on everyone's mind is, will elections be held next year? I know the president has given assurances. I know many people are gearing up for elections. We see a bit of racism starting to spread. So that's, well, another indication that elections are coming by. But in your opinion, do you really think that next year is going to be election year?
First of all, thank you very much for having me on your new show, and all the best to the new show. That's a very tricky question, because we were supposed to go into election last year.
This year?
Last year was when it was all supposed to be planned for this year.
Right.
And even though that did happen, and when the plans were set and everything was set for election, the ballot papers were being printed, the government did a very dangerous move of unceremoniously delaying tactics to cancel elections. And that's the fundamental flaw in which a country shouldn't operate. If there are elections, elections should be held. You, me, or anyone in power, for example, should not have the right to decide when to have elections, because it's a people's franchise. So because of that unsavory experience, I still have my doubts on which election Mr. Wickremesinghe will try to have first. It could be the presidential, which is due in November, but he's more than free to hold, or he does not have any legal obligations to hold the parliamentary elections early, which are obviously due in 2025. So it's very hard to see his pattern of thinking. The government's acting in a very erratic manner and a very ad hoc sort of manner. And I think it's a very unpredictable thing to really say right now.
I think a few days ago, parliamentarian Harshan Rajakaruna was on this show, and he proposed, and even before that he had been speaking at a media briefing where he proposed to hold the presidential and the general election together. I think that's a good way of moving forward.
Of course, because the people have been denied their local government franchise vote, and it's only fair that they do have elections, and we are pushing for elections. Please don't misunderstand me when I said that there is a trick. The question is tricky about if they're going to have elections or not. But the point is that we want them to have elections, because what we have right now is a mandateless government which was kicked out by the Aragale. We have a figurehead prime minister, president, who came in through the support of those that were rejected by the Aragale. So it's an overall rejection pattern that's going on. And the only right way, whether it goes right or wrong or south or west or whatever, the right thing to do is to test the pulse of the people, because the people are not happy, which is why they're cancelling elections, or they say that they're bankrupt enough to have elections.